And we are back. What was that?
My phone started playing because I had to pull up the article. What are we doing? What is this right now?
Ruminations and Revelations.
Fantastic.
Episode 8, I think. I really should look at that before we sit down.
Look at what?
What episode we're on.
Yeah, okay. Are you going to go do that now and start over?
No.
That's
I'm
an
just saying,
observation.
moving forward, I really probably should do that.
Okay.
We're doing something a little different. We don't want to do the typical relationship conversation today. I mean,
No.
it kind of is. It kind of is.
It kind of is.
It kind of is.
It's not an email, and it's not somebody looking to us for a life-changing or life-affirming thing.
Yeah.
It's just something being talked about on the internet, and we are also going to talk about it on the internet.
You know what's funny, though? By the time this hits, this is going to be super old news.
Oh, no!
People are going to be like, I can't believe they're just now talking about this a month after it happened.
Should we maybe bump it up and bump something back?
I mean, we could drop it as an extra. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this won't be Ruminations 8. Maybe we'll label this something else and just fucking post it. I don't know.
We're so backlog. Here you go.
Yeah. Yep. This is relevant now, not a month from now. I don't know. I don't know.
Something's going on with the internet and the article is not loading. Oh, so I've decided. No, never mind. This is just me jumping from thing to thing to thing, and I'm probably at borderline. Never mind. Ignore me.
What is it that you got? Let's just do it. Worst comes to worst, I'll just cut that part.
So I've been working on my French here and there, and I'm so tired of Duolingo because I can't work on it while I'm driving. It requires me to like type or text or whatever needs. So I've been trying to find an app where I can like verbally do it, and it's able to tell me if I'm pronouncing it right or wrong. And I finally found an app I think that I can utilize that's not stupid. I'm pretty excited about that.
So why would you not share that?
I don't know, because I just don't want it to seem like I was into the reading thing and I was into the plant thing and now I'm doing a language thing when...
Are you saying that you can't be multifaceted?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking myself right now.
I think you're overthinking yourself.
Yeah.
I think that you could... I believe that you are fully capable of learning French and taking care of your plants at the same time.
Oh, I am aware of that. Yeah, I think so too.
How hard could it possibly be? You're back there talking to yourself anyways.
That's very
technically,
true,
you're talking to your plants, but...
I do whisper sweet nothings to them.
I don't think that they are specific to our language. I think that if they spoke a language, it would be their own language, not American English,
right?
And not an actual language. So,
well, I
think it's more the intent behind the language. And if you're doing it in French and you do it in a low voice,
right,
it's going to sound like you're serenading them.
Well, then what about like the cats and dogs that respond in Russian? But
that's because that's how they're trained.
Or is that just what they learned?
It's what they're how they're trained. They don't speak Russian just because they're born there.
I don't know about that.
They don't speak our language either. It's the
seen...
sounds that they're trained to. You can train a dog to gestures.
Right.
Gestures. Dakota actually said that dogs are not trained so much audibly as they are with hand signs and shit. So.
Okay. I don't know. I've seen a lot of videos of someone saying cat in a bunch of different languages, and they finally hit one language, and the cat's like... And they're like, oh, yeah, you French fuck. I knew it.
That's funny.
Okay, it loaded.
So we're going to do the Jonah Hill conversation today?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you ready for that?
I think so. I got to be honest. I haven't read anything about this.
Yeah, I've dabbled in it. I've come across it here and there, people talking about it. But it's all been born from the Washington Post article.
Okay. That's what we're reading from?
Yes.
Okay.
From what I've gathered, this is where people are really honing their opinions on.
Okay. I only know about this because of Discord.
Yeah, I saw it on a TikTok comment during a live. They're like, what's your opinion on the Jonah Hill situation? I was like, I don't know. I liked him in 22 Jump Street.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
I have more important things going on than to worry about famous people's lives on the internet.
Right. I think we should all really be focusing on things like Sound of Freedom.
Yeah. Yes.
Versus, do you think this text is toxic?
Do you think that they're going to actually release that onto streaming services? Because Amazon turned that movie down.
Everyone has turned it down. Netflix turned it down. Prime turned it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Disney had the rights to it for a while and refused to put it out too.
Yep, they did.
So, this I would love to see it on a streaming service. I would even if Angel Studios put it out and you had to watch it on their site, it needs to be out so that people can see that movie.
If they developed a streaming service specifically to stream that and nothing else, I would pay for it.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to support the movie. All right, so let's hear what kind of fucking nonsense is going on with Jonah Hill.
So the article is titled, Jonah Hill's ex says his texts are a warning to all girls.
Not women?
No, it says girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that says a lot about her mentality.
It makes me uncomfortable when things are directly targeted at children.
Right. Right.
Because anybody's experience can help anybody. Our podcast is helping people in their 60s. I think as a byproduct, it's helping people in their late teens. We have a 9-year-old fan. It's helping them with their bullying issues.
12-year-olds.
Yeah, so...
I just realized that there's no third camera set up today.
Huh. I was looking at Mrs. Pathos. It's Pothos. It's a Pothos? I call it Pathos because that's how I remember it. And I was looking at her and I was like, wow, I can see a lot of you today. Like, have you grown some? There's just a missing camera angle. I got excited. I was like, oh my God, I'm doing it, guys. You want to set it up?
Not even a little bit. It sucks, though, because people can't see that fancy YouTube button back there.
It does look very nice sitting there.
But
I like the shine it has.
yeah, tis what tis.
So apparently this became a massive thing because I believe Kiki Palmer commented on it.
Don't know who that is.
I think she's a singer or an actress.
Okay.
But she gave her opinion on it, and then I believe that's when it really blew up. So I'm just going to read the article.
Okay, from the Washington Post.
Correct, from the Washington Post. So it says, on Friday, surfer Sarah Brady posted screenshots on her Instagram and accused her ex-partner, the actor Jonah Hill, of misogyny and emotional abuse.
Okay.
Do you have your phone on you?
Yes.
Oh, offhand, do you know the definition of misogyny?
Yeah, it's a open admit. Well, it's a hatred for women. You want the actual definition?
Yes, I feel like that would be beneficial.
Beneficial, dislike of, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against women.
Prejudiced. Are you going to define prejudice?
Yeah, I'm going to have to because...
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience.
Okay.
Dislike, hostility, or unjust behavior deriving from unfounded opinions.
Okay.
Harm or injury that results or may result from some action or judgment. That last one is to do with law.
Okay, can you read the very first example for me about not having the experience?
Preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience.
Okay, not based on reason or actual experience.
Yep.
Okay. I think that's important to note.
Yeah.
When referencing this.
It's important to note anytime anything
Right.
like this is brought up.
So, misogyny, based on the definitions, a variation of the definition could be said that it is a prejudice or a hatred towards women. And with the definition of prejudice, it means it is an opinion formulated based on a non-experience. So maybe a story I heard from my cousin.
Right.
Right. Okay. In the text, Brady shared, a person whose number she saved under the name Jonah asked her to take down social media posts, stop modeling, and cut off friendships with some men and women who are in unstable places. She said Friday that she hoped Hill's friends would hold him accountable and that her posts were a warning to all girls. Brady made the post on Instagram stories, meaning that they disappear after 24 hours, but screenshots of them have circulated widely on social media alongside criticism of Hill's alleged behavior. I will never understand posting something for 24 hours and then deleting it.
Yeah.
If you're going to say it with your chest.
Right. I also there's a lot already that I have questions on. First and foremost, why is his friends the ones that are supposed to be holding him accountable for this? Because I do agree that we should hold others accountable.
Okay.
I just don't agree that she shouldn't be calling his friends to do this shit.
Right.
Is where my issue comes in.
So she said, hopes that Hill's friends will hold him accountable.
Right.
Which one would hope that the people in their life who they deem worthy of having that relationship would hold them accountable. I think singling his friends specifically is an attack on them. Like, you are also shitty people because...
Right. If you don't stand up or
Right.
Yeah.
I think she said that if she were to say society as a whole should be holding people like this accountable, that is less of a fuck you towards him and his buddies and more towards as a call of action at that point.
Yeah. This whole thing just sounds like she's trying to cancel him, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that shouldn't even be a thing. It shouldn't even be a thing. If you have a problem with somebody and your relationship's not working out, why would you post this to the internet?
And why would you do it for 24 hours?
Right.
That's what makes it seem like that adds on to the attention grab for me. Does that make sense?
Society is so wild. We have evolved or changed. I can't even call it evolution because I think it's a de-evolution, but
I do believe
we have
it's a
regressed so much as a society, a culture because of the internet.
Yeah. I'm really hung up on that 24 hours thing.
Yeah.
That shit I used to do when I really wanted to be petty. And people are going to grab screenshots of it. You know it's going to be on the internet forever at that point. Why don't you just post it?
And leave it there.
And leave it. Here's what you need to know about Hill and Brady, who did not respond Sunday to requests for comment. It's not what I need to know about it. It's what I'm curious about.
The real question is why wouldn't she put it out there? Why wouldn't she comment on it?
Yeah, that is also.
If you're gonna put your business out there like that, and you're gonna really start bashing someone, because that's what it sounds like is about to happen.
She said that he was emotionally abusive
and a misogynistic person,
right?
Right. So if that's really the case, and you believe that, why wouldn't you put your story out? You want the world to know about it. You put it on the internet for people to see. It's now been screenshotted. Why not, like you said, say it with your chest? Respond to the people who are reaching out for comment.
Yeah.
Make the fucking comments. You've already tarnished his character.
Right. I will say this is the only article I've read about this.
Okay.
So I don't know if she has spoken to like maybe TMZ.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Or if she's made additional 24-hour posts that disappear. So only the people who are super, super invested and follow her on platforms get to see that kind of thing.
Yeah. Before you move on, I would also like to point out that I don't give a fuck about either of these two people.
Yeah, I don't know who Brady is, to be honest.
They don't know who we are either.
Right.
So what does it matter? Right? Like all these people are like, oh my God, did you see that? No, I didn't, because I have a fucking life to live and I'm living my life.
Right.
I don't have time for that shit. Who gives a fuck?
So what happened between Jonah Hill and Sarah Brady?
Drama.
It really is drama, yeah.
How long has it been since he's been in a movie?
The last movie that I saw him in, he put on a bunch of weight, I think, to be a drug lord or a cartel
How long
dude.
ago do you think that was, though?
Maybe 5 or 6 years.
I need to know how relevant Jonah Hill currently is and how relevant this chick's surfing career is.
I think he's currently down to a really good weight. Like, he looks like a husky dude. It's been a couple of years.
Jonah Hill's last movie was in 2022.
Oh, it was last year.
It says himself, though. So it doesn't look like he was in like a major role. It looks like 2018 was his last real movie. Like everything. And 2018, he also made his directorial debut. So it doesn't look like he's done anything of like real note since The Wolf of Wall Street. He was in a comedy called Hail Caesar in 2016 and Gus Van Zant's Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot 2018. So everything since then, according to Wikipedia, has not been like a major role.
Okay.
So his career is pretty much not really a relevant thing anymore, right? He's kind of an irrelevant actor right now.
Right.
And then what was that chick's name?
Sarah Brady. She's a surfer.
She's a professional surfer?
It just says she has a surfing career.
Professional surfer from Encinitas, California. She rose to fame in 2010.
Okay.
She's now a surf instructor, an environmental advocate, and a law student.
Okay.
So I would probably go as far as to say that she's not really relevant right now either.
Yeah, it sounds like she's just kind of living her life after being in the spotlight.
Right. Okay. So what is the possibility that this entire thing is just to get them relevant in the news?
I was just kind of thinking that after you said that his last movie was in like 2018. I wouldn't be surprised. The Kardashians do it constantly.
Right. It's a publicity stunt. It's no different than a sex tape being released.
Right.
Oh my God, my sex tape has been released. I don't know how they got in my safe that's in my fucking mansion on private property behind a gate.
That's exactly what I was thinking of when you said sex tape. Yeah.
I don't put it behind people to do shit for fame.
Right.
Not saying that that's what this is, but I'm also not
Right.
ruling it out.
So it says Hill's alleged text to Brady focus on her social media, surfing career, and friendships. In one text Brady posted from Jonah, she says he wrote that if she needed surfing with men, boundaryless and appropriate relationships with men, to model, to post pictures of herself in a bathing suit.
Okay, can we do these one at a time? Because there's
Okay.
no way I'm going to remember all this.
Okay, so before we get into that, I want to hit on the fact that they keep referencing it to it's Jonah. I don't think has he confirmed that the text messages are from him?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about this. Zero.
Okay.
Because I don't give a shit about famous people in the news. I
Right.
just don't.
Okay, so the first one is surfing with men.
Okay.
That's one of the boundaries he was setting.
That's not an acceptable boundary. That's kind of stupid.
I think that's overreaching a little bit,
Right.
knowing that that's
She's
her
a surf
career.
instructor, right?
Right. Next one is boundaryless and appropriate relationships with men.
That's a very reasonable expectation to be set for a relationship.
Yeah, especially in a monogamous one.
Right. Okay,
I stand behind that.
same.
Solid boundary. I respect that. I would not shame anybody for having that boundary.
The only thing that I know about this entire thing, and it's because of Discord, is that at some point he says that if you can't accept these things, then this relationship isn't right for us. Or something along those lines.
Yeah, it's at the very end. Yeah.
Okay, so knowing that, just that sentence, nothing that he's doing there is controlling.
Right, yeah.
Because he's given her an option of going, he's saying, these are my standards.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be with me, this is what I expect. And if you don't want to be with me, cool. Okay, so no matter what is being said here, all of that is negated by that final sentence.
Right.
So that first unrealistic thing
Mm-hmm.
is his unrealistic boundary is an unrealistic boundary.
You know, I wonder what he meant by surfing with men. Because I know people like tandem surf.
Right. Well, it can also be one of those things where she's going out with surf buddies and there's 5 or 10 dudes there and it's
And
just
she's
her
the
as the
only
only
chick.
woman. Right. And like, I can understand how that could be a problem for him. I
Yeah.
can see how that could be a problem for a lot of men. That's a very insecure moment because if you don't surf and you've got a surf bro and like
Right.
there could be intimacy happening there that you
Like
don't
a
know
work
about.
husband.
Yeah. Right. And I think that's a work husband is definitely a fucking no fly zone. Like,
Yeah.
so in that scenario, that first one, there's stipulations on that. I would need more context as to why that's a thing
Right.
to have a judgment on the first one.
Yeah. Next one is to model. If she needs to model. And I believe modeling was her career before he even like slid into her DMs or however that happened.
I didn't see that listed.
To model.
Yep.
That is, I believe that is one of the text messages.
Right, but
Or a stipulation.
but what she does, she's a surf instructor, environmental advocate, and law student.
So I would assume it's Instagram modeling then.
So you're not a model, then you're just posting. That's not the same thing.
Right.
So my definition of a model is somebody who gets paid
Mm-hmm.
to showcase something.
Right.
Hand models.
Yeah.
Fucking showcase something with their hands.
Yeah.
If she's a bikini model, she's modeling bikinis. If she's a coat model, she's modeling coats. If she's
Athlete
just
model.
right.
Yeah.
So what is she modeling? If you're just posting pictures of yourself on the internet and calling yourself a model, you're not a model.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Right.
not. It's just not a thing. I mean that puts you close to the category of OnlyFans because you're selling pictures of your body to make money versus modeling what it is that you're supposed to be modeling.
Right.
My opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
To post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit.
She's a surfer. That's unrealistic as fuck.
Right. I would say it depends on how you're posting pictures of yourself.
I agree with that too.
If you're posting with your surfboard with your buddies at the beach and you're like super dope day,
Right.
like bro, come on, she's having a good time. If it's you're sticking your ass out and the camera's focused, like shot up on your butt and there's a surfboard vaguely in the background.
Right. Because then you're selling sex at that point. You're not
Right.
posting your life. You know what I just thought about was the scene from the original Point Break movie where they're all in the water and Lori Petty's in a full wetsuit.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That entire movie, they're all wearing wetsuits the whole time they're surfing. So like,
That's what I see all surfers in.
right. So if she's wearing a wetsuit, being in a bathing suit is not a thing if you're surfing in a wetsuit.
Yeah.
So like at that point, it has nothing to do with surfing. It has more about modeling. So like, again, context on that one matters.
It does.
Okay.
It really does.
You see how easy it is to make somebody look bad by taking something out of context?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you said, the full body suits. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen a woman wear a string bikini top and go legit surfing because there's the risk of it coming off.
Yeah.
Getting thrown off your board, getting taken underwater. Too many risks in exposing yourself involuntarily. And I believe the swimsuit helps protect the skin because you're out in the sun all day.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's more than just that too,
Yeah.
though. Like that whole wetsuit thing can be, skin protection. It could be protection if you go underwater and hit a rock because it's a
Right.
thick neoprene. Like, again, I don't know shit about surfing either.
These are just all assumptions.
Right.
On two non-surfers. Rarely go to the beach.
Yeah. I've had skin cancer twice. I'm not fucking around with the sun.
To post sexual pictures.
I agree with that.
I stand behind that, yeah.
I wouldn't want you posting half naked photos or provocative photos on the internet. You're mine. Why would I need other men fucking spanking their bank to you?
I view that as marketing oneself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, hey, here I am.
Right.
Give me attention. I need it.
Yeah. When you're going shopping, buying avocados, you're going to want to buy the avocado that you can eat either that day or the next day. Because if you leave an avocado overnight, it's going to go bad. So you're testing every avocado looking at it. When you're looking at potential partners, the first thing that's going to grab your attention is your physical attraction to them.
Yep.
I do view that as marketing yourself.
So far, I don't see any of this is unreasonable.
Me either.
I think that context to some of these would help make a decision to one way or the other. But so far, I agree with almost all of this.
Me too. Friendships with women who are in unstable places and from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful.
That's also super reasonable.
Right.
Okay, remove him from this altogether.
Yeah.
That whole scenario says nothing more than level your life up.
Right.
If I was hanging around with dope boys that I grew up with, and that was my life still, I wouldn't have any of this.
I wouldn't be here.
Right. You are only as good as the company you keep. The saying, everyone's heard it, that if you hang out with 6 millionaires, you'll be the 7th.
Right.
You level the way that your group levels. So if you're hanging out with people who are constantly going to the club, constantly fucking broke, not doing anything in life, getting drunk all the time, having promiscuous sex, that is how your life is going to be.
Right. And you're going to attract that same energy you put out.
Right. So now that we've cleared up that whole, why wouldn't you want to just level up and remove that toxic nonsense from your life? Having a partner who is looking out for you that wants you to level up and have that, I would see that as a positive.
Right.
Like, hey, I really care about you. I think that this is a really bad idea. And, you would have a better fucking life if you got rid of those people and started hanging around people who had the same goals and ambitions you do.
Right. I do want to point out, he didn't even say, you can't speak to him anymore. He was like, if you guys are going to go out for lunch or a coffee and just catch up on the past, cool. I don't want you regularly going out every Friday or Saturday night until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Doing drugs, getting lit, whatever it was. I expect that.
Right.
You expect that. I would say everyone in a very long-term, serious relationship in our Discord would expect that out of their spouse or partner.
That's not an unreasonable ask.
It's really not. I'm looking to level up in life, and if you came to me and you were like, hey, I think I'm going to go start going to St. Pete and hanging out with the boys every Friday and Saturday night, I'd be blown out of the water and be like, okay, what in life is changing?
Right.
And he ends that with, if you need all of those things, I am not the right partner for you. That's it.
Yeah.
There was no, I demand you to stop this if you want to be with me. There is no, that was it. That most respectful way you could put that.
Right. So this falls back into the conversation that we had about the first dates and where you lay these expectations out.
Right.
I don't know how long they were together. And if these are all screenshots from a long relationship, that's multiple conversations throughout a relationship, and you squish them all together to make it look like this is a no-fly zone, like this is my list to you.
So they dated for a year and broke up in 2022.
Okay, then why is this now becoming a thing?
I don't know why she posted it.
Right. Okay, so they've been broke up since last year, right?
Right. I believe they go on to the article as to why she posted it.
Okay.
I don't know if that changes the direction of where you want to go with your thought.
They broke up a year ago,
right?
Or last year. We're 7 months, almost 8 months into 2023. Why is this just now coming to light if this is a problem? And also, if this was the context of conversations that happened over a year, Did she screenshot them as they've happened, or did she sit down and go through an entire year of text messages to screenshot these things? If you and I had like a toxic relationship and we broke up, would you sit down one night and go through an entire year of messaging to try to find dirt on me to post it to the internet?
No, I would have deleted everything the night that you left.
Who does that? Who the fuck does that? And if you had a problem with things I sent you in the relationship while we were happy and you were mad at me, would you screenshot it then and save it? That doesn't make sense to me.
It's very childish.
Okay, so then why does it say that they broke up?
Okay.
None of this is logic to me. And I don't see misogyny anywhere in there at all.
Okay. Well, she goes on to the next thing, and this is where she calls him a misogynist.
Okay.
She says, Brady also shared a text she sent, including a list of all the posts I removed from my page, to which he allegedly responded with, good start. So I suppose she went through and deleted provocative photos, maybe something exposing cleavage or ass, whatever it was.
So where's the misogyny in that?
I don't know.
Okay.
She uploaded a picture Friday that she said she previously took down by request of a narcissistic misogynist, though she did not name Hill on the post.
But that's she's implying because this entire thing is about him.
She's implying, right. So this is why I do not believe majority of people when they say they've been with a narcissist.
Right, because there's nothing in there that screams narcissism.
Right. I watched a video today with over an hour long of a father recording an interaction with his 14-year-old son and his mom. They had split custody. The son did not want to go back home. He's like, she hits me, she beats me, I don't want to be there. And the father recorded all of it. That mother is a true fucking narcissist. That is a perfect example of narcissistic behavior. If she is saying that those text messages is an example like that list of narcissistic behavior, you're mistaken. That is someone setting a standard in their life for what they want from their woman. And he even said, if you need all of those things, I'm not the partner for you. There is somebody out there who is willing and is okay and is happy to live that life. And they'll live it with you. I'm just not that person.
Right. As a woman, does anything in that scream misogyny?
No.
Okay. I think how I want to word this. If you were doing things that could potentially cause you harm in the long run or immediately, and a man came through and tried to tell you like, hey, what you're doing could cause you harm. Mm-hmm. This could affect your future in a way. Possible suitors may not approve of these things. None of that screams misogyny. That all seems like somebody's looking out for your best interest.
Right.
Right? So
Yes.
how does that land on misogyny?
I think people who are quick to defend, who think that they need to stand their ground and they feel the whole world's out to get them. So specifically when a man approaches and said, hey, this might be something dangerous, it might put you in harm's way, long term, it might have bad effects on your mental health. People, I don't want to say they are weak-minded. I would say they lack the emotional intelligence to understand that they're not attacking you. They're trying to give you a caution. They're trying to give you a warning.
Right.
And they view it as a direct attack on maybe how smart they are, how capable they are, maybe a restriction on their freedom. If they're feeling attacked in any sense of way, I think that's where they start throwing around the labels of, oh, misogyny.
Right. Well, even if he was trying to control her, because there's a potential that you can view it that way if you do view it that way. When you start calling names, narcissist, misogynist, snowflake,
right,
whatever, doesn't matter what the name is, racist. When you start calling names, you've lost all credibility to me. Because you're trying to get other people to form an opinion based off of your thought process.
Right.
Instead of just laying the facts out, letting people think for themselves and have that discussion. None of that screams misogynist at all. And I don't know where the narcissist thing came from either, because I didn't see anything narcissistic wise.
I think she's saying the fact that she deleted a bunch of posts from her Instagram, maybe in the throes of an emotional hurricane, trying to be good enough and feeling controlled in a moment. She sent him all these photos from her Instagram that she deleted, and he said that's a good start. that's where that controlling aspect can come in, especially if she was in that emotional mindset.
Right. Well, if he was like, if they were 6 months into the relationship and all of a sudden he's like, bitch, delete those fucking photos off your Instagram, things that have been there for years.
Right. Or delete them or I'm going to leave you.
Or I'm leaving you. That's controlling.
Yeah.
That's not the same thing as we're dating, not living together.
Right.
I'm not comfortable with the things that you're doing. If you're going to continue to do them, let me know. We may not work. Like, that's not the same thing to me.
Right.
And the end of that made it sound like that was the prerequisite of them dating.
I like that word.
I actually think it's prerequisite, not prerequisite, but
Either way, it's fantastic.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
everybody has standards.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go buy a car unless it meets a certain thing for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into a relationship unless it brings certain value to my life. And if it brings more things that's not worth it to me, then I don't want to be there. And if those are things that they view as not worth it to them, move the fuck on. Nobody's making you date anyone.
Right. I'm going to ask you a question about the Instagram thing.
Okay.
So you said like photos that have been on there for years. So say they get together, she stopped posting provocative photos, sexy photos in swimsuits, and she goes into the more conserved, like, I'm in a relationship now. Would him asking her to delete older photos of her that are provocative, do you think that's asking too much?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think that. If I was like super in shape, right? I've posted photos of my weight loss and deleted them.
Yeah.
Because of comments that have been made. So I know that people will see those photos and be like, oh, look at them trying to show themselves off. That's not okay. Right? You're no longer on the menu. You shouldn't be fucking promoting yourself as if you're on the menu.
Right.
If you and I were like, if you came to me, I have a video somewhere of a side by side where I was 320 pounds and I was 202. And that 202, when I turn sideways, I have the V taper. I'm lean. Like, I looked really good. That is not posted anywhere that people can find it. But if it got found or you saw it and was like, hey, can you delete that? I'm not comfortable with that being on the internet. Sure, babe, you got it. It's not controlling. It's not an unreasonable ask. It is a picture of me showing my body off, and I am in a committed relationship or marriage. That's not an unreasonable thing.
Right.
Why do people need to see that? Yeah, I was super fucking proud that I lost over 100 pounds and I did it in like 6 months. I was in the best shape of my life in that video and I was super fucking about it. Does that need to be on the internet now? No. Do I look like that now? No. Why does that need to be up there? That's not an unreasonable ask.
Right.
And you really want to think about it. When you look at your Instagram photos, if it's more than like 6 months old, how often do you go back and look at your Instagram photos? Do you ever go back to the beginning of your Instagram reel and just go through memory lane?
Me?
Any? I don't.
Oh,
no,
I have maybe 30 photos on my Instagram.
Right. Even my personal Instagram that had a bunch of pictures on it. I don't ever go back and look at those pictures unless I'm looking for something specific in the moment to show someone, like an old motorcycle or something. But even then, you can archive your pictures.
Right.
You don't have to delete them. You just pull it up and click archive. You still have the photo. It's just not there for everyone to fucking see.
Yeah.
So how is that really a problem? You can even unarchive it and it'll just put it right back on your feed where it was.
Right. Without pulling attention to it.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Ooh, that's another thing. Why not just archive it? Are you deleting it and reposting it for the attention of it?
Could be.
Crazy. Not saying that that's what she did, just in general, when people do that, knowing that you could archive the photo and just unarchive it.
Right. So so since you hit me with a scenario, let me hit you with one. Let's say that you had, let's say you did the gym pose showing the booty, right? Leg behind you, ass looking like the peach that it is, looking just top notch.
I don't know how to do that pose.
And I was for some reason not okay with it, and it was one of your most liked photos. There's a very strong possibility that over the course of time, you're going to post that photo more than once.
Right.
Because it makes you feel good. You get the likes from it and the attention.
Yeah, you get my little addiction fed.
Right. And people do that shit all the fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
We had a conversation about it on the couch 3 nights ago about somebody that we know that had posted the same photos over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Because they get attention when they do it.
You know, when we were driving around Augustine, we could see the people who pose like that regularly because they were taking a headshot, but their body automatically posed with their ass sticking out.
Yep. We actually pointed it out when we went over the bridge.
Right.
Yep. I was like, I can't believe that bitch is holding her coffee, taking a headshot with her ass out. Right?
Yeah.
Because they're doing that for attention. So let's say I was like, hey, I'm not comfortable with that on there right now. Like, you're getting a whole bunch of unnecessary attention from dudes. Like,
it's my job to look at that ass.
Right. Send those pictures to me if you need to be hyped up. I will hype you up. And you were like, okay, babe, I got it. And deleted the photo. And then say we broke up. And the day we broke up, you posted that picture knowing that I didn't want it to be on the internet as like a fuck you to me.
Right.
And then in the caption said some shitty things about me.
Yeah.
Saying that I made you take it down.
How petty.
Did I make you take it down, or did I say, babe, let me be your hype man?
Yeah.
I don't like the attention that you're getting from other dudes. It's inappropriate. Is that me being controlling or misogynistic or anything other than me going, you and I are in a committed relationship. This is supposed to be mine now. You don't need that kind of attention from other dudes. And if you do, last part of that, maybe we're not meant to be together.
Right.
Because I'm not comfortable with the amount of attention that you're getting from other people based off of your body. Furthermore, that makes you a piece of meat. To all those men who are like, damn, look at that ass.
That's all you are as an ass. I bet they can't tell you what color your eyes are.
Is it still misogynistic to have your woman not be a piece of meat on the internet?
No. It's wild to me that it's not normalized, that it's okay for men to have standards. The texter took issue with the surf culture, writing that we can't do surf social things or develop trust until you consider me.
I don't understand. Say that again.
So the person who she is claiming is Jonah Hill, who is Jonah Hill under her phone,
okay,
took issue with surf culture, writing that we can't do surf social things or develop trust until you consider me.
How is that hate to the surf culture? How does that have anything to do with surf culture?
Right. I'm actually kind of confused on that.
That has nothing to do with anything other than him trying to be included in the things that's going on to make him feel more comfortable with it.
Right. If every time he comes around you and your surf buddies, all your surf dude friends are low-key flirting with you.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be in that situation either, especially if I'm just blatantly being disregarded.
Right. Here's another thought. Jonah Hill has never been like an attractive man, right? He's always been a bigger dude. He was very fat for a long time.
He was, yeah.
He's lost a lot of weight, gained a lot of weight, lost a lot of weight, gained a lot of weight, which means he's got a ton of loose skin. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine that he's running around in a fucking bathing suit on the beach trying to surf.
Oh, I think he does, though.
Does he?
I've seen photos of him on the beach, yeah.
Surfing?
I don't think not surfing.
Okay.
But I don't think he cares about
Well, good for him, because if that's the case, old boy has got way more self-esteem than I do, because I'm not. Maybe very, 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 very rarely you catch me without a shirt on outside of the house.
I think he's pretty at peace with who he is.
That's fucking dope as shit for him. I love that.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of... He's a bigger man than I am in that case. Not really the point. Okay. The point is if he's not doing the things with that group, if he's not willing to learn to surf and he's not doing those things, he's not going to be comfortable with that being a regular occurrence around a bunch of other people not knowing what's happening. There is a jealousy that comes into that, and that is a normal thing.
It is.
If he was going to the bar or going bowling or going to do anything where she was not often invited or was unable to participate, eventually that doubt would happen.
Right. Like if he's parts of a darts league.
Right. Is he there talking to other women?
Right.
What if, like, I'm super happy now? What if some other bitch comes in and tries to encroach on my happiness? Those doubts are going to happen to everyone. If you don't broach the subject and you just suppress that and you live with that self-doubt and it just continues to grow because you are unable to talk about it, that's not healthy.
Right, it's not.
So in bringing that up, does that make it so that she has a problem with whatever culture he's in, or is the issue that she's insecure in the marriage or relationship and there's a reason for it? Because him bringing that up means that there's an insecurity there and he's trying to address it.
Right.
How is that not a healthy thing? How you address it matters, but he is trying to address it. How many times do we get emails saying, I wish my boyfriend would be more vulnerable with me? How many times do we hear men need to be more emotionally vulnerable?
Are you someone they can be emotionally vulnerable with?
Right. Him saying, I'm not okay with this, I'm not comfortable with this until I'm included, is him being emotionally vulnerable.
And she just blasted him for it.
Yeah. Now he's the villain on the internet.
And now they've seen it happen to Will Smith.
Yep.
Now they're seeing it happen to Jonah Hill. They've seen it happen to, who was it? It wasn't Kanye. It might have been Kanye. It was a gentleman crying on a live saying, I haven't seen my kids in 4 years.
Oh, I have no idea.
They're keeping my kids from me. And they made fun of him. Men aren't vulnerable because it's not fucking safe for them to be vulnerable anywhere. She goes on to say, Brady commented on the screenshot that Hill wanted her to stop seeing any friend of mine that he didn't personally approve of.
See, now that wording
makes it sound controlling.
Mm-hmm.
What if it was a conversation of, hey, babe, I think that person has some ulterior motives with you, and it would make me feel a little bit more comfortable if you had less contact with them or didn't hang out with them one-on-one.
Right. And you could take that to extremes.
Yeah.
I saw you guys getting drunk and you were getting a little too close together.
Right.
I don't want you hanging out with Sharon because every time she comes over here, something's missing.
Mm-hmm. I see him putting his hand on your lower back every time you guys are standing near each other.
Right. There's a whole lot of like reasons that could be said, but without the context, that sounds super fucking controlling.
Mm-hmm.
That's very different than just for no reason being like, you can't have any friends.
Yeah.
I'm the only friend you need.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But
if you have a friend who you surf with and get brunch with on Thursdays and Sundays,
right,
I bet he wouldn't have an issue with that versus hanging out with a dude who does cocaine every Saturday night and then hits on you Sunday mornings.
Right. It could, and that could be a thing.
Right.
Again, there's no context.
There's no context.
But there's also the difference between saying you can have friends that I approve of versus you don't need any friends at all. You got me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like, that's why I said that verbiage sounds very dirty, and I think it's intentional.
I do think it's intentional too. Watching the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the way people word shit means everything. And people will definitely word something in the best possible way to make themselves come out in the brightest light possible.
Right.
Always.
I really wish there was more context to some of this. Mm-hmm. And I know that like there's going to be people out there, well, you just need to take her at her word. Man, fuck that. I don't take nobody at their word.
No.
People, you motherfuckers, all of you, everyone lies. Mm-hmm. Like I'm good on that.
Yeah.
I'm good on that. You have to earn my trust. I'm not giving that. Mm-hmm. Amber Heard shit in Johnny Depp's bed.
Bro, right?
Good on that. And I don't even know if that's true. That's how little I give a fuck about celebrities. I think I saw like a meme about that. So like
I think she admitted to it. Yeah.
Okay. I hate these chairs now just as much as I hated the other ones.
You know, if you had a friend, a female friend, who every time, even if I was present, was like, oh my God, Chris, hug, and all of that bullshit, and had a cute little pet name for you. I'm the only one who calls him this. Bitch, it's me or her. Like, I'm not playing that game.
Oh, you're so controlling. How dare you tell me who I can and can't be friends with? Mm-mm. I can only have friends that you approve of?
Little Miss Cupcake gotta go.
That's exactly the point.
Yeah, you can call me controlling all you want.
Every woman on the planet would feel exactly like you feel right now.
Yep. Let me sit in your lap. You do it when she's not here.
Why you looking at me like that? You're getting mad at hypotheticals.
I'm not getting mad at you. I'm imagining the bitch on your lap and I'm looking at her.
Shh. Calm down.
Okay. Remember when you gave me permission earlier?
Yeah, you can get it as extra as you want, babe. I
am getting a little heated, though.
Just remember that I'm not doing that. It's your imagination.
No. I know you're not.
All right. Last thing I need is to have like a fucking snot bubble on my dinner because you fucking imagine someone
I would
sitting
never
in my
do
lap.
that to you. I'm not that person who's going to take dream cheating you out on real life you.
No, I appreciate that.
I'm going to look at you and be like, listen to what fuckface you did in my dream. And we can hate on him together.
Okay. That's funny.
No, I'm not that person. I wasn't getting angry at you. I was imagining the chick and I was getting angry at her. I'd punt her.
So how much of that Jonah Hill thing do you think is worded to make him look bad versus truthful?
I think a lot of it's taken out of context. There's no context. There's absolutely none. There's screenshots, and this is what I said about him.
Right, but are there actual screenshots there?
The screenshots of the text message I can find that has been posted.
Because if it's a conversation...
Let me see. Jonah Hill text conversation.
Because if that's an actual conversation, I would like to see her response to some of the shit.
Text messages to X. Oh, screenshots. It's multiple. Let's see. The first screenshot is of a photo. She screenshotted this and posted it with the text above it. It says, "This is a warning to all girls. If your partner is talking to you like this, make an exit plan. Love y'all. Call me if you need an ear." And Jonah, or the person labeled as Jonah in her phone, sent a snapshot from her Instagram of her on a surfboard actively surfing. And it says, "Respect however you want to live your life. You only get one. Sort of done explaining myself." And she responded with, "3 removed. Not the video yet. It is my best surfing video. Would you feel better if the cover frame was different? Any more specific ones that bother you?" He responded with, "Yes, one that isn't of your ass and a thong. Not a thong, but K."
Okay, so how is any of that a problem? They are
Well-
having a conversation about what is appropriate in his eyes,
Yeah.
and what she is willing to cater to,
Yeah.
to make him happy.
Well, I am going to pause. I do see her full ass in this. So I would classify this as a thong. It
Okay.
looks like a thong to me. But continue.
There's nothing more to continue about. That is a conversation. They've
Right.
obviously talked about this in the past. There are things that bother him, and she did it anyways, which is why he's like, "I'm tired of explaining myself. Life is yours. Live it the way you want to live it. You only get one of them." Like, I don't
Right.
see how any of that is a bad thing.
I agree. It's not.
If he was like, I fucking told you about putting your ass on the internet.
Right.
Like, that would be a very different conversation than two people having a casual. She's obviously like, "Okay, babe, I'll take down whatever makes you uncomfortable."
Right.
Because she was like, "I've already deleted 3. Which more do you want me to take down?"
So I think she's sending this with a little bit of attitude.
Yeah.
I would like to give another example of something that maybe a misogynistic man might say of, "Bitch, you're so stupid. How many times do I have to tell you this?
Yeah.
All my buddies warned me about your kind of women. I should have known better."
Yeah, that's misogyny.
That's some misogynistic shit.
Yeah.
So when she says any more specific ones that bother you, past me, let's say like 2018 version of me, would send that any more specific ones that fucking bother you.
Yeah.
Like, what else do you want me to remove? Like, how else are you going to suppress me because you have a problem with how I show my body? And then he responds with, "Yes, one that isn't your ass in a thong." And then she goes, "Not a thong, but K." 2018 me sending that message, "Not a thong, but K," is, that's not a thong. You're being overbearing. You're being controlling. K, fuck you. I'll delete it anyway just to get you off my back because I'm tired of arguing. That's all from my perspective, how I am interpreting those messages.
Yeah, I mean, I could see how she's having an attitude with it, but the last part of that, "but K," definitely
Yeah.
is shitty. But the first part of that just sounds like, "Hey, I'm not okay with it." And she's like, "Okay, I'll delete it." Like, I don't understand how that's a problem. If you posted a provocative photo and I'm like, "Hey, I'm not okay with that being on the internet," and you didn't delete it and we had a problem with it, you're choosing the attention of other people over the attention of your husband.
Right. Or
There,
the security of your husband.
where am I in the hierarchy of our relationship now? Instagram,
the post.
the post, other people's needs and wants, husband.
Right.
I'm good on that. I don't
Yeah.
want to be third and fourth in that line of importance. I want to be at the top. I put you at the top. You put me at the top. We have a successful marriage. If I put you at the top and you put me at 5th or even 2nd,
That's a problem.
that's a fucking problem.
Yeah. So there's a next text message.
Okay.
And this actually includes more of what he said than what the article did. So all of the listing things were the same, his boundaries. And he ends it with, I am not the right partner for you.
Wait. So it was actually a list then.
Correct. So it's one text message blurb.
And he sent all of it in one text message.
In one blurb. There's
Okay.
dash, dash, dash for each point.
Okay.
And modeling is on there. Like, everything's on there, like I said. And he ends it with, I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it. And there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for romantic partnership. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. My boundaries with you based on the way these actions have hurt our trust.
Where is there any control there?
He even said, if these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it.
Yeah, it's just not for me.
I'm just not going to be the person in your life. And then she said, see the misuse of the term boundaries. Girl, you are part of the problem. You are one of the women who are bringing the bad name to women. I think Jonah Hill set some pretty healthy boundaries. If the modeling is you posting all of these provocative photos and bikinis, you're not modeling anything. There's no brand behind it.
Right.
And you're just showing off your body. I would have a problem with that as well if I were a man.
You want to know what the different definition of a boundary is?
What's that?
A line that marks the limits of an area, aka a dividing line. Mm-hmm. A limit of a subject or a sphere of activity.
Okay, yeah.
That's all of those are activities.
Yeah.
These are things that I'm not okay with you doing. These are my boundaries. It's not control. Mm-hmm. It's not. He even gave you the out.
Right. He said, no hard feelings.
I'll support you.
This makes you happy. Fuck yeah, get it.
Yeah, just not for me.
Not for me. And you guys end up breaking up and you're living your life and he's living his life. What's the fucking problem at this point?
And then a year later, it gets posted on the internet to try to cancel him. Doesn't that just sound like vindictive craziness to you? A year later? Come on, like...
Right.
Even if it was posted out of anger after the breakup, like the day after.
Yeah.
Like the fuck you photo that I mentioned earlier.
Right.
I can understand the fuck you photo because you're hurting in the moment.
Right.
This is calculated.
This is calculated, yeah.
This is vindictive. Why? What happened between now and then that this needs to be a thing? People get too caught up in taking sides to actually think about what's going on. Mm-hmm. There's got to be something happening behind the scenes for this to be a thing.
Yeah. This was posted and millions of women jumped on the bandwagon of this is abuse. This is narcissistic. This is misogyny. Fuck Jonah Hill and fuck any man who sets boundaries. This is not boundaries. This is boundaries. Mm-hmm. This is what it looks like to have healthy communication, to say this is how I want to live my life. Jonah Hill was trying to save you some time, bitch. Like,
Yep.
If you're not willing to live this way, I want you to be happy and go live your life and be happy. If this is not going to make you happy, if being with me is not going to make you happy, I support that and you can go live your life.
With the information we have, I'm Team Jonah on this one.
I'm going to be honest, yeah. There's zero context to anything. You just, in your words, said what he said. Well, actually, no, not in your words. He actually texted you to model, but there's no context to the model.
Right. We also don't have a context of how that conversation came about.
Right. She didn't include... Oh, wow. This is from 2021. He sent this December 2nd,
when they started dating, because they were only together for a year.
Right. And she agreed to it because they were together until 2022.
Oh, man.
Holy shit. Wow.
If having standards and boundaries of what I'm willing to commit to be with somebody for the rest of my life makes me controlling, then fuck it, I'm controlling.
I'm controlling as fuck too,
because
then.
I would rather have the life that I want versus being miserable in a relationship because people are doing things that I find unacceptable. Mm-hmm. People have different standards of what is and what is not okay.
Right.
Of the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
There are men out there. I mean, shit, there's religions out there where women aren't allowed to show their face in public.
Right.
So to ask you to just respect the fact that we're in a relationship and not be viewed as a piece of meat on the internet is a pretty fucking acceptable ask.
Right.
Do you remember, man, talk about timing. 1 year ago today, I posted that booty meat TikTok.
No way. A year ago today.
It came up earlier. I was going to send it to you.
Wow.
But it was literally you laying on the couch and it was that
you
Ginger Billy guy. And it was like, look at that booty meat. And I grabbed your ass and I shook it. Mm-hmm. And I was going to repost it as like a ha 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 thing. But knowing how big we are now and how many people like fawn over you, that isn't appropriate to me now. Mm-hmm. A year ago when I posted the shit, it was not inappropriate because we had like 500 followers. Yeah. It was a joke. Mm-hmm. I mean, it wasn't a joke. I was like, look at that booty meat. Yeah. But I like your booty and I don't have a problem showing it off, but seeing people fucking fawn over you and tell you how much they love you and obsess over you, like, I don't want that on the internet anymore. I feel like because of who we are, our behavior needs to change because there are people out there who are very into what we're doing solely because of you. Just like there are women who are into what we're doing because they want a man like me. I'm not posting half naked shit. I very rarely take my shirt off for a TikTok anymore. I used to make my TikToks constantly without my shirt on.
Yeah, I would come home with your shirt off, making a TikTok, and then you'd put it right back on.
Yeah. And it was, I mean,
that would bother me a little bit.
Part of it was because I wanted to show my traps off. Real shit.
No, you told me it's because you would do better when that was being shown.
Yep. But in the very beginning, I was getting more views with my tattoos showing because people want to see people with tattoos. That was purely a marketing thing.
I don't think it was just your tattoos, babe.
It may not have been.
You're a very muscular man. Come on.
I'm really not. I'm really, really not.
Those TikToks where your traps were massive and you could see your pecs and your biceps and shit.
Regardless of the way you view it or the way I view it, the point behind it was the way I viewed it.
Right.
And when I realized that wasn't the case or it could possibly be something else, I stopped doing it. Simple as that. Because I don't want to be viewed as obtainable or a piece of meat or fawned over because I am married.
Right.
So I don't do that anymore. I think I may have posted one video recently that I didn't have my shirt on and I was uncomfortable making it. And I got to be honest, I don't even think it got posted.
Yeah, you know, with how our lives have changed and the research that I've done and finding my religion and everything, I bought a new swimsuit. I don't wear two pieces anymore. I am uncomfortable showing that much skin now, knowing... I guess just being more aware of how I'm perceived. So I went out and I bought a one piece. And now I'm uncomfortable in that one piece because I feel it shows too much ass.
Okay, so I don't go to the beach.
Right.
But if I was with you, would that change?
Me being uncomfortable in it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Even if you're there with me, I'm fully aware that people are still going to be looking at my ass in a sexual way. And I don't want to be perceived that way.
That's what I was asking. I didn't know if that was because I'm not with you kind of thing or... Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest. If you were taking selfies like this with a low-cut shirt, I would have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I mean, why are you trying to show your tits off? It's not a good angle. You got a new eyebrow piercing, and this much of it is your eyebrow, and the rest of it's tits. Like, come on. It's just there's a level of self-respect that needs to be there, and I think that because society has fallen so far in the level of what is and what is not acceptable, that couth, that modesty,
I would say elegance.
the elegance leaves a lot to be desired when you're posting like that. I would much rather see a classy woman in a really like nice dress than in a fucking bathing suit on the internet. Like that's why I fucking love you in dresses so much. That's super sexy to me. Like I know what's underneath of that. I get to see that. Not everybody else does. But seeing you in I mean, you're hot as fucking dresses. You always have been. I've thought that since the beginning. I've told you that shit. But we've never been in a position where I've had to be like, hey, don't wear that.
Right.
It's crazy to me that this is where we are as a society.
I heard someone while I was listening to a podcast say that the Kardashians have normalized softcore corn in society.
I could see that.
You know, in the early 2000s, I believe it was J-Lo. J-Lo. I believe it was J-Lo. She wore, or Mariah Carey wore a super low cut. I believe I showed you the photo.
I don't know.
I don't remember, but it was super low cut, showed her chest a little bit, showed her belly button. And in the early 2000s, people lost their fucking minds.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, she's showing so much skin. And now I'm pretty sure it was Rihanna or somebody literally showed up in a sheer dress with their nipples, just everything on display. On a red carpet. It might not have been her. It might have been somebody else, but...
Yeah. I remember when little Kim wore something that only covered one of her boobs.
Wow.
And it like had a pasty on the other one for like the MTV Music Awards. I don't know. I got to be honest. I would never do that. Like, I know it's different for men than it is for women because of social stigmas.
Right.
Like it's normal for us to take our shirts off and work and all that shit. You guys can't do that because it's inappropriate.
Right.
And that's a very different discussion. I don't know. I also think that there's a level of body dysmorphia and self-esteem that comes into a lot of it because I've always been big.
Right.
So the idea of me just strutting around without my shirt on, I can't do that because even when I'm at 202 pounds, I still see myself as 325. Like I will never not see the large version of me in my mind's eye. And even when I'm shredded and in shape like that, like taking my shirt off in public was always uncomfortable.
Right.
So like maybe that's why I can't understand the want to do that. But even if I had one of those super shredded bodies, I'm not walking around without my shirt on all the time. Like there's no reason to do that. I don't know. I also think there's a difference between showing off what you've worked for, like getting on a bodybuilding stage and taking, walking around in a fucking banana hammock. Like,
Right.
you're doing it for a reason. It's not just to showcase that. Those guys don't just walk around like that all the time. Normally they're wearing fucking hoodies and sweatpants. Like, they could be completely shredded underneath and you don't know it until they take their shit off.
Yeah, when I think of like Kai Green, the only time I ever see him in something revealing is when he's at a competition.
Yeah, otherwise he's completely covered.
Right. He doesn't even do like the nipple show in tank tops.
Yep.
Yeah.
All of those bodybuilders like that. They train in hoodies. Like, they keep themselves covered all year round. There's a lot to say about the mental health of a bodybuilder too, and the body dysmorphia that comes into that and all of that too. But I don't know. What a conversation, man. That was an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to go that long.
Me either. I'm glad it did though, because it was an easy episode. Somebody asked me in Discord, Heather asked me in Discord to be specific, if we are going to continue doing 3 and 4 hour episodes instead of doing long recordings and cutting it into multiple pieces the way we did 30 and 30.5, because we have episodes that go for 3 hours and then other episodes that go for 2. And if we're doing 3 hour episodes or longer, we should cut them into 2 episodes and release them as like a to be continued, because there are people who don't have time to listen to 3 hour podcasts.
Okay.
And that would backlog us further on content, because we can actually get into conversations where we just bullshit for a long time, and we can just cut those and then create the next clip could be a whole thing. And it would, I think that might be something that we should consider doing.
Okay.
We also need to figure out when we want to start the change to the Sunday content.
I would want to do it this Sunday if we can.
I think so too. This was fun for me. These conversations are just us talking. Like,
I don't feel drained.
I don't either. There's no emotional attachment to any of this.
Right. It's literally just sitting here and thinking through shit and forming an opinion on it.
Yeah. Did I tell you that all of my products came from Matrix today? Super stoked about that. Started my semaglutide, and then I'm going to start the carnitine tomorrow.
Okay.
I get my blood work done I do my second blood draw on Friday.
Okay.
And then he told me 2 weeks. I think I'm going to go sooner than that.
For a blood dump?
Yeah. I think I'm going to do my next one on Friday. I went Friday of last week. I think I'm going to go again next Friday.
Why?
Why not?
They said 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For a reason.
I'm impatient.
Well, what if they're waiting like that 2 weeks is necessary?
Well, the doctor told me that he wants me to go 2 weeks in between so that the iron doesn't get taken down, but my iron was normal. So maybe if I continue to do the AG1 stuff and taking iron supplements, that will help.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know, but I would rather get back on my hormones. I don't feel good. I'm tired all the time.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I'm fucking exhausted. I was asleep last night at 7:00.
Yeah, you slept in the kids' bedroom in a chair last night for a little while.
I was on the floor.
Were you?
Yeah, I laid on the floor. I had one pillow under my hip and another under my head.
That's funny.
I was so tired.
Yeah, and my sleep patterns are off.
Yeah.
I'm staying up until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning almost every single night now. And that's not me. But when we first started dating, I was falling asleep by 9.
Yeah.
But I was also getting up at 4 a.m. every day. So I don't know. Sleep schedule's fucked up. I think that getting back on my normal hormone treatment will fix that, but the blood work thing has to finish. I guess since we're speaking on it, might as well plug everything, right?
Yeah, I just did all my registration.
Yep, you have your blood draw on Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, I believe, yeah.
Yep, and he's already scheduled your telehealth appointment with the doctor.
Yes, for the 3rd.
Yep. So guys, if you are interested in getting blood work done to see where your hormones are, to check your thyroid, to check your liver lipids, to check your prostate numbers, you can go to matrixhormones.com and click on new patient forms. There will be a link in the description of the video. If you mention that we sent you, it says to be better. You click that, it'll save you $200 on your initial visit with them.
$200.
Yeah.
That's dope.
It's a lot. It's a lot of money to save on a visit, but they're thorough. I'm very impressed with this company. So if you have ever wanted to get your blood work done, or you're just curious to know where your hormones are, save yourself $200. Matrixhormones.com. Tell them To Be Better sent you, and see what's going on. I'm really glad that I did mine, because I was really at a risk for a heart attack. I was not okay internally, and I had no idea.
I'm really glad you got it done too.
Another thing we should plug is Patreon, because we didn't get a patron the whole time we were recording, which is very unlike us.
We didn't.
So if you guys would like to see extra content, including our vlogs, get access to our our private Discord community, private live streams and all that fun stuff, go to our Discord channel.
Oh, that reminds me,
Or
we're doing a
Patreon
live
channel.
tonight.
We are. Yep, at 8:30 tonight we have to go live for Patreon. Yep, there'll be a link for that in the bio of the video as well.
Dope.
All right, guys, as always, if you found any value in what we've done, please share the content. That's the best way to ensure that we keep doing what we're doing, because people will see us and we will continue to grow the channel.
Yes.
And we appreciate you guys and everything that you do for us. Do you have anything else that you would like to discuss?
No. No, not really.
All right, guys, remember, you are the authors of your own life.
So grab a pen.
And we will see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.